Soludo protest listing of Anambra government property among those forfeited by Ekwemmadu. The Anambra state government and others on Monday protested the inclusion of a number of its properties in the interim forfeiture order against 40 properties linked to the former Deputy Senate President Ekwemmadu. Recall that the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja had on November 4, 2022, granted an interim forfeiture order against the affected properties following an ex parte motion filed by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) against the defendants. EFCC's lawyer, Mr. Ibrahim Buba, had told the court that the affected properties linked to Ekwemmadu were in Dubai, United States, and across Nigeria, with clues they might have been acquired through the diversion of public funds. Recall that presiding judge Justice Enyang Ekwo had granted the interim forfeiture order while ordering parties to show cause why any of the properties should not be forfeited to the federal government permanently. On Monday, a litigation secretary from the law office of C.I. Iwenedon, Amakalo, stated in his affidavit to show cause that he was authorized by the Anambra state government to recover house number 14/16 Chas Street, GRA Enugu, which EFCC listed as belonging to Ekwemmadu in the order. He claimed that Enugu was created from old Anambra state by head of state Ibrahim Babangida in 1991. And in a white paper endorsed by the government at the time, 5 residential properties hitherto jointly owned by both states were transferred to the Anambra state government as its guest house. He alleged in his court documents that in 2018, the Anambra state government read in the news where EFCC quizzed the former Deputy Senate President on the said property, now renamed, and that Ekwemmadu has replied to its allegation, insisting he's the rightful owner of the property. So, what are we to go with on this particular story? Politicians are dubious. Can you imagine the number of properties listed? Meanwhile, Anambra state government is saying one of the properties listed belongs to Anambra state government. They own the property right from the time the state was together. And it's now a guest house. And can you imagine if it's true, Ekwemmadu tried to seize those properties? Can you imagine? Huh? It will be so bad of him to try to, like, maybe using his position as a former Deputy Senate President to, corner those properties. And it's so amazing. Several properties were mentioned in Dubai and other part of the world. You wonder, what has this guy done? How much do they receive in the form of salary for them to have amassed such wealth? Meanwhile, we think the government should have also waited for pending the completion of Ekwemmadu's trial in UK. Recently, Ekwemmadu is being tried in the UK for trying to acquire kidney for his daughter. But nobody really know how long this trial will go, though they said they will quicken the trial in 2023. Meanwhile, the federal government has quickly swooped on Ekwemmadu's said properties. As I think there has been a lingering battle between EFCC and Ekwemmadu. Well, add your comments. I don't pity politicians because for the sake of their tomorrow, we lost our today. Whatever a man sow, he shall reap. If any of his properties are ill-gotten, we are fine with the government confiscating it. But how does that really help the poor people? Well, still on matters that has to do with Anambra State. Your style in levy collection is exposing us to kidnappers, traders tell Soludo. Industrialists, businessmen, importers, and warehouse operators who are mostly traders in different markets in Onitsha and its environs have appealed to the Anambra state government to revisit its style of collecting the newly introduced levy for loading and offloading of goods into and out of heavy-duty vehicles, saying it is exposing their lives to kidnappers and other violent criminals. They specifically appealed to the governor, Charles Soludo, to think deep and come up with a more decent individuals and ways of collecting the money from them instead of using people they describe as hoodlums that are allegedly unleashing terror on them by the revenue contractor collecting the money for the government. Addressing newsmen in Obosi, Idemili North local government, Chief Ikechukwu Asinobi, who is one of the spokesmen of the factory and warehouse owners located in the areas such as Atani Road in Obaru Council area, Obosi, Awada, Mpo, Ogidi in Idemili North and Oba, and Umoji in Idemili South council areas, allege that the personnel, manner and style used in collecting the levy from them is a big threat to their lives and the businesses. They allege that with the kind of the people coming to their premises to collect the money from them, they are simply being exposed to kidnappers and other violent criminals as their personal lives, business and services are being monitored for other clandestine activities of hoodlums. According to Asinobi, while we are not opposed to the levy, even though it is high, we are demanding that the right personnel be used to collect the money instead of hoodlums who we know use the opportunity of collecting the levy to monitor our movements, the movements of our goods and company operations. That is not acceptable to us. It must be discouraged of insecurity in the state. In fact, we are being exposed to kidnappers and other violent criminals with this kind of hard drug smokers coming in our private companies and warehouses to demand for money. We are not safe at all with such characters around us. We are having problem with the newly introduced tax system for loading and offloading of goods in trucks because of the individuals being used mode operation. The government said that the trucks should be paying special revenue of 30,000, starting with trailers as the biggest vehicle, for every one of them that load goods or offloads in the state. Other trucks have their own amount, ranging from 25,000 naira to 20,000 naira for 10 and 6 tire trucks. Some are also paying 15,000 naira depending of such truck, even down to the lowest, which are buses paying 5,000 to 3,000 naira. We are not against the levy if it is what the government wants. Okay, they are saying the paying such amount is not really their problem. Their problem is the threats to their lives. And this is the same government that said they don't want to work with revenue touts, that have banned revenue touts. Is Soludo government still using these touts to operate? You said you don't want touts, everything will be digital and, you want a smooth operation. The touts, revenue touts will not come around to harass people. But now you are using same touts. And these guys are saying they are being monitored, their movements are being monitored by these same people. So it's like returning to your vomit, Soludo. The government has returned to their vomit. These are touts you removed, and they said you would want nothing to do with them. All your tax system will be digital. The same touts you are using to enforce such collection. And we also want to complain that we think this tax amounts are exorbitant. They are too high. We understand that to make omelette, you have to break eggs. To have certain things put in place in the state, tax is necessary, but you cannot overtax the people. You are overtaxing the people. And now the worst is even using the same guys you dismissed as miscreants in the society, using them to enforce the tax payment. So sad, too bad of you. In rounding up, Labour Party said it is not true we don't give Shishi. P2B says they actually give Shishi. They are ready to give Shishi. The presidential candidate of Labour Party, Mr. P2B, has said that it is not true he runs a penny pinching campaign, not giving Shishi, but that he is more concerned about using state money for public good if elected Nigeria's next president in 2023. He said this on Monday at an interactive session between him and northeastern stakeholders in the country. At the event, Obi also dismissed speculations that he was secretly fighting his former principal and standard bearer of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Atiku Abubakar. On the issue of frugality, Obi said, "People say we don't give people shishi. It is not true, but I want to use your money for your good. I want to use it to educate your children and give them opportunities. I don't want to steal your money. That's not what I am doing because it is wrong. Rather, I want to be part of you and your children. I want you to understand that I am committed to you. I am committed to the Northeast. I am not going to be your president from Abuja. I am going to be your president from the Northeast. There is no way I will not tour every single state of Nigeria. I will be everywhere," he said. So, finally, Labour Party actually gives Shishi. For those saying we don't give Shishi, and the P2B, just like CNN described him, a politician who is a businessman, he has a penny pinching attitude. Now P2B is telling you, you had it from the horse's mouth, that they actually give Shishi. But they want to use the money for the right thing. They don't want a misuse. They want to use your money to make your children go to school, have certain things. They don't want to steal your money. They actually give shishi. And they don't want to use state's money. Just like we had, APC is making use of Nigerian Air Force jet already. And don't be surprised that it could be the federal government that is fueling the jets. And like Peter B is saying, if they don't give shishi, how will, what about their logistics and the rest? Traveling and the rest? How will it be facilitated? Certainly, money will change hands. You use money to motivate people to come to venues for parties. Not a case of bribe, no. There are certain things that need to be put in place for parties, meetings to hold. People will drink pure water or bottled waters. And the rest, there are refreshments. So money must move. So P2B is trying to tell you, and he wants to use your money, but he wants your money to work for you. And that is it. Please don't forget to subscribe. Share our videos widely. Please. And this is where we draw the curtain on this one. Bye-bye for now.